Hello there. I think we're live. Let's see. Okay. Streaming for a minute right now. Let's go. Cool. So, what's the plan for today? Let me just do some stuff. Right. Last we were working on the scene manager, right? It was like a short stream, 45 minutes. Here. This is what we made. Right, this is like the header, the singleton class for our scene manager that will own our scenes. And yeah, we can add an existing scene if we make our scene separately, which is not really recommended. Wouldn't be the recommended workflow for this, but mostly what you do is you'd in place a scene, right? You just give it a name, and then this creates the scene, adds it to its own list, and gives you a reference to it. So if you want, you can just store that and I guess add game objects to it, because game objects are owned by scenes, not by the scene manager. Then we have switching functions, right? You can switch by like an actual pointer. Maybe there should be a reference, right? So that we can, if we give a reference back, the API should always use references. But yeah, now that I think of it, using references as like a return type doesn't really make sense. Like it does, but if you want to have more than one reference, right, then it's a bit more risky, but you can use pointers, right? Yeah, I'd probably change this to a pointer so that switching works. So that, for example, a game object, we'd have a game object, for example, that holds pointers to existing scenes, right? That it gets by, I guess, get scene by name, right? Which will return a pointer, not a reference. And then that will be like, I guess, the game manager game object, which I guess if you get like a score of 5, then it uses the pointers that it has to use switch to scene, because switching to scene by pointer is likely going to be faster than switching to scene by name, because this is going to do like an extra lookup and like string comparisons to be able to find it. We could use like a dictionary, an ordered map, mapping strings to scenes, scene pointers, to make that a bit faster. But even then, yeah. That's all weird optimization stuff. Not really like important right now, because the scene manager doesn't even work at the moment, right? It's not even complete. And then we have like the init, update, render, and mgui render functions. These are like the lifetime, the runtime, lifetime functions of our game engine. The init function gets called right before the game loop starts. Then we have our update, which is every frame, our render, and our mgui render. Our update is going to need a float, right? That's the frame time, the time that elapses between frames, then render, an mgui render, and if we go to main, right, what we'd have here is, instead of like looping over game objects in our global list that we have right now, here the render function also not really where is it? Doesn't really make much sense, right? Because in here we'd have our scene manager, right? Scene manager, and then we'd get the instance, and yeah, this probably would also be a singleton because we're gonna need the renderer. Okay, lots of stuff that I have to remember, lots of stuff that I have to do still, but we'll get there this stream. And then we can go over to the scene graph, right? Yeah. So if I go back, it's here. Go back more, right? The issue I'm having with VS Code right now is there's like no good way of I think adding these, right? The definitions. Oh, never mind. I can't do this, right? Because most of these don't have refactor. Yeah, that's the issue. Like Visual Studio has like the big IDE. There's some nice functionality that does this for you, right? How do I open this? Wait, maybe there's a shortcut for this. Control period. Yeah. Okay. Just too bad that it switches that screen. Can I do this? Well, it didn't do it with this one. Oh well. Also, for some reason, thinks that these functions already exist, which they don't in here. So we do is scene manager : the init, right? Same like this. Scene manager : this. Save it. Scene manager : like that. Okay. Yeah, so this is the constructor. Let me just put that on top. Right. These are the lifetime functions of the game engine. Just do this. Everything is visible. Move that as well. Yeah, by default we emplace a scene called the default scene, so that we never have a situation where we have no scenes, right? Through emplace scene, let me just change this to be a pointer. this. I can change these return types. Yeah, I guess this is what they mean by programming like C style and C++. Right, not using references too much, using many classes, not using inheritance, right? To the right. This as well. So in init, all this has to do is just loop over reference scene and scenes. Oh, not even that, right? We don't want to loop over all of our scenes. Nope, sorry, not update. Init, right? Then we have the same for update and complain. Render, same thing. That. And then same thing for rendering GUI, right? Here we can say get the scene, and then where is say switch scene with scene, right? So what this does is it creates a scene, puts it in our list, so we're automatically the owner of it, and then we switch to that scene. So that's the one that's the current one, right? So easy, current scene equals scene, right? In here, what we have to do is we have to look through all of our scenes, which is a bit more tedious, but we have some standard library functions for that. Set find. That's going to be scenes, and then have a predicate. This capture by reference, and then reference scene, and then return scene dot. No instance matches the argument. Why not? Is it really going to? Really? Come on. What's the error message? No instance of overload function matches that. Lambda. Okay. This should not be the case, but maybe if I'm missing something. Yeah. Should be able to just change this to a ranges thing. name equals scene name. Right, and then this is iterator that turns, right? If I remember correctly, right? Yeah, that's iterator, and then what I can do is if it is not equal to scenes dot the place, but end, right? Then that means that the iterator actually contains something. This is switch to scene, right? So it's a void, so we don't return anything, but what we have to do is we have to say current scene equals the iterator of the content, right? Because the iterator now is actually a something that points to the unique pointer of the scene, and yeah, by calling get on it, we get the raw pointer, right? The issue is maybe it would be nice to throw like an exception or something else, right? Handle error states, right? Because now if we have an issue with error, and like we give it a name that we can't find, it's not going to let the user, like it's not going to inform the user. No one's gonna be all the wiser. We're not gonna be able to know if we actually like switched to that scene, right? If they're like identical. But oh well. Maybe it's better if I just invert this, right? If that, then handle the error states, delete this. And yeah, that's going to be free. Right, so add scene. This is just you should check should find does this return a boolean? Yeah, sure. Two overload it says, but oh well. I'm gonna have to do this to be able to see. And it wants a value. Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do this with just find, because I'm not passing it like a unique pointer. Right? I don't want to create a unique pointer just to be able to find it, right? So I can just say find if. Just do this again, like that. Scene reference, scene, maybe S for now because it's gonna be the same. Return wait, no, that's this is gonna be wrong because we're not looking through scenes. We're looking at unique pointers of scenes. Yeah, so it's kind of annoying that this auto keyword doesn't get automatically filled in. Could it be the const keyword that's doing something? No, right? Can I like get IntelliSense? Start IntelliSense here. Does that do anything? No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's a bummer. Oh well. Let's do it's gonna be unique pointer scene, right? And normally we shouldn't be able, like, you shouldn't even have to do this, right? You can do this. Scene. The arrow operator. Right, because we have this. Yeah. Do we need that? I guess we do. Yeah. And then same thing applies to, right? We look through scenes, right? Each element we look through, we get this, right? And then what we want is we return true if so gets is the same as scene pointer, right? Yeah. So this means that when we add a scene, right, we try to find it first. Is there like a get scene that I made? No, right? Maybe I should add that. But yeah. Find that. We should store our iterator. And then what you get is if the iterator equals scenes dot end, right? That happens. That means that it couldn't find it, right? Maybe in this case it should be like, if we check if it not equal, right? That means it did find it, right? Scene pointer found in scenes, right? So we just return, right? Maybe add some logging there as well, right? Just add a quick to do. Add logging slash error handling. It's not really like an error, right? But maybe it should be, because we don't want anyone like of our users to just spam add scene for some reason, right? Scene handling should be something that the user does like cautiously. Yeah. So, and then in here, if it is at the end, then what we can do is scenes dot place back. The move scene. Does that work? Not sure. I think it does work, because in place back is going to try and create a unique pointer out of this raw pointer. Should work, I think. Can I wait? That's for scenes, and here we have one for component, and then okay. Here it pre-creates a unique pointer, and then it places that. Not really gonna change much, but here, yeah. Initial, how do I say it? Initializables, yeah. These are just raw pointers, no need actually for in place back, but newer should work. Here, we in place back game objects is just, yeah, no. Let me just look it up. Looking at it. Okay, so I guess I was wrong. It's not going to automatically create that. That's sad. Right. Go back, go back, go back. Yeah. Here. Move. Mm. Okay, so not necessary here. What we do is we mm. Yeah, so ask. Mm. Okay, it pointed out my mistake. So seems like if you use std make unique, it's going to try and call the constructor of the type you use make unique on, right? So what we used to do was this, right? So this is going to try and kinda do this, right? Where it's doing like a new scene and then actually passing scene to this, right? And then wrapping this in like a unique pointer, which not what we want. We don't want to make a new scene. So I just go back this, right? No. Oh, well, let's write it out. The unique pointer scene with scene. When we do this, what happens is the raw scene pointer that gets passed, right? It was allocated somewhere else, like first created in, I guess, the main function or whatnot. Here it's going to like take ownership of it, right? It's going to make it into like a unique pointer. And yeah, ownership semantics. Okay. Mhm. Seems like there's still like an issue there. Okay, so doing it like this causes double ownership, right? Yeah, so let's write this out for a second, right? So for example, you have your main function, right? We auto scene manager equals scene manager dot get instance, right? We do this, right? This has to be a reference instance. And then we create like a scene in here. Scene equals unique of type scene with a name just right, and then we say sm dot add scene here with just the move, right? Scene like this. It's not gonna work, right? Because it can't convert a unique pointer to just a raw pointer, right? So I am going to have to change this to exactly this, right? And then if I just change it in here as well, no, copy it. Like this. If I do this, right? And then I go back, right? So it's inaccessible, but this works, right? And in here, we try to find it, right? Get in here as well. Just thinking about this, right? If you can't find it, already exists, right? And then here we have to move it again. Like this. So in steps, right? This is like first owner, right? Scene. Then we move ownership, we give ownership of this object, of this pointer, So yeah, scene function, right? And then in here, move ownership to mscenes, right? Mm. And yeah. Okay. So it seems that we should be good to go. Let's add some lines in between these functions so we have some more space. 1 second. Oh my. I got interrupted. Damn it. Oh well. I'll be back in an hour. Sorry. See you guys.